Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're immersing ourselves in quite a unique historical document. It's called The Keeper of the Tide Log.
Right. And it's not just, a simple weather record.
No, not at all. It's this personal, really generational chronicle. It details the life and, well, the eventual total erasure of a fictional coastal town, Estuary's End.
Spanning quite a period, too.
Yeah, it charts about 40 years of environmental decline, roughly 2035 right through to 2078. It's like watching a slow motion catastrophe all captured in this leather-bound log.
It really is. And it's so important to understand where this story actually starts. You look at the entries from 2035 written by the original log keeper's grandfather, and they're just full of, well, confidence, success. He's talking about these amazing runs of silver-sided mullet, skies just absolutely packed with migratory geese.
Wow.
And these huge, sprawling oyster beds. I mean, that was the heart of the town's whole economy. So, locally, from their perspective, life was good, really good.
But that's the puzzle, isn't it? How could things seem so abundant locally when the science was already starting to sound alarms?
Yeah.
The log does mention that, doesn't it? The abstract warnings, the sort of scientific talk about parts per million, tiny fractions of a degree of warming.
Right. Distant thunder. That's the phrase used.
Exactly. Distant thunder. So what was that disconnect? Why didn't the data land?
Well, I think it's that classic challenge, isn't it? Translating abstract data, numbers on a page, into a feeling of, like, immediate urgency.
Right. The fish in their nets were real, tangible.
Precisely. The threat was an equation, something distant.
Yeah.
But that equation, it started becoming very tangible around 2052. The log marks that as a real inflection point.
Okay, 2052. What changed then?
The grandfather's entries suddenly shift tone. He starts recording the king tides, these exceptionally high tides.
Which used to be rare.
Yeah, like a biennial event, maybe something folks even found a bit novel. Suddenly they're monthly scourges, he calls them. Saltwater is creeping into foundations. They're putting up permanent sandbags at the post office door.
Wow. Permanent. That's a clear sign. And I guess as the water rose, the environment itself started showing stress.
Oh, definitely. It started to betray them, really. The visual decay, the economic decay.
Yeah.
It accelerated.
Tell us about that. What happened to the salt marsh? Wasn't that important?
Hugely important. It was their natural buffer.
Yeah.
But the log describes how this vibrant green marsh just slowly turned into this skeletal gray landscape. They even had a grim nickname for it. The ghost forest.
Ghost forest.
Yeah.
Chilling. And the oysters, the economic engine.
That died first, essentially. The oyster beds failed completely.
Hmm.
Partly warming waters, but the big killer was increasing ocean acidity.
Acidity. How did that?
It affected the spat, the baby oysters. The water chemistry changed so much that they just couldn't form strong shells anymore. The water was literally like dissolving your future. The shells were too fragile to survive. Dissolving their future, that's powerful. And the log contrasts this, right? This immediate crisis, dissolving shells, rising water, with the official response.
Painfully so, yeah. They needed help now. Emergency defenses. But the reports they were getting back from outside, from government agencies.
Let me guess. Slow. Glacial. They talked about managed retreat, long-term infrastructure investment, decades-long plans. Meanwhile, the crisis was literally, lapping at their doorsteps. There was this massive lag. The town felt abandoned, really.
Holding the bag, as you said. So fast forward, the final blow comes in 75, the Great Atlantic Hurricane.
That's the catalyst, yeah. The log keeper, writing later in 2078, is very clear. He insists this wasn't some random act of God.
What does he call it?
The bill coming due.
The bill coming due, meaning
the storm's impact was magnified, made fatal because of what they'd already lost. The log details it. The storm surge was way worse because the town's natural defenses were gone.
the buffers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The dead coral reefs couldn't break the waves like they used to. The depleted marshes, the ghost forest, couldn't absorb the water's force. The hurricane itself might have been powered by a warmer ocean, sure, but the disaster was locked in by those decades of losing their resilience.
And the end result, 2078.
By then, the original Estuary's End is just gone. Submerged ruins about 5 miles offshore from where the new town hall eventually got built, further inland. The very word beach is apparently noted in the log as a historical term for them.
A historical term. Wow. And the log itself.
It survived. It's archived in a regional climate vault, according to the notes. A testament.
So looking back at the whole chronicle, what's the ultimate takeaway? The terrible clarity the log keeper found.
I think it's that final realization he has. The real tragedy wasn't the hurricane itself, as devastating as it was. The tragedy was their collective failure over decades to read their own story, to see where things were headed page by accumulating page in that very log.
They had the data, the signs.
They did. They saw the symptoms firsthand. But I guess the momentum of how things had always been done, the prosperity they felt early on, the slowness of any external help, it all meant they didn't or couldn't strengthen the brakes when the knowledge was there.
Right, that delay between cause and effect.
Exactly. It highlights that huge, dangerous lag time. The greatest risks often build up silently, invisibly almost, long before the water is actually at your door. You really have to pay attention to those early signals even, or maybe especially when everything on the surface feels prosperous and secure.